Week 7 of the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Next Gen Series makes a stop at Talladega Super Speedway, where anything can happen and anything probably will happen. Welcome in, this is Rich NEXUS. I'm Rob Campbell. In the booth with me, Emmett Crow, as he usually is for Tobacco Road Sim Racing. Welcome in, Emmett. Week number 7 at Talladega. What are we expecting to see here tonight?
Chaos, pure chaos, Rob. It's going to be just unbelievable. You know, last year we had the unbelievable finish where Gary Braylon was able to win that race and then go from that, Rob, and end up winning the championship. So pure chaos is what we can expect tonight.
I think you're probably right. We got qualifying underway right now. As we see Kyler Adams on track right now, the JC Esports driver, currently sitting in, well, 18th place. I guess he hasn't put in a time, so we'll see if he puts a time on the board here in qualifying or if he chooses to start from the back. But before we get into that, Emmett, let's take a look at our weather conditions for this evening. See what our drivers have to attend with. 77-degree Fahrenheit air temp, 135-degree track temp. It is a scorcher out there. These guys are going to have to be mindful of their tires. Talladega not a big eater of tires, but even still, 135 degrees Fahrenheit, these tires are going to be cooking.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be cooking. And, you know, we don't usually think about tires at a super speedway, but with this next-gen car, you know, for instance, in the 500, I mean, it was a tire race. And now we're starting to see that with this next-gen car and these tires. And with those hot temperatures, yeah, Rob, these tires are going to be cooking for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I believe, I didn't check, but they've had four sets of tires all season to this point. I suspect they'll probably have another 4 sets for this race too as well. So they should have plenty of tires, just a matter of how they choose to use them here tonight. But we've got about 30 seconds left in qualifying. Only a couple cars on track. Blake Cannon currently sitting up in pole. He's been a bit of a weapon all season here. Emmett, heading into this race, not really much of a surprise to see him leading the way in qualifying.
Yeah, Blake Cannon came into this series as a rookie, got the road win at Watkins Glen, and then capitalized it and won at Bristol. So huge momentum for Blake Cannon going into this week.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. Looks like right now he's starting on pole, as everybody has pulled off to, I guess they're fairly happy with their qualifying results. That's just good because they only got 1 second left on the clock. Qualifying about to click over, so we'll take a look at how things are going to grid up here. Emmett, 65 laps. We're going to have a stage break at lap 20. So, you know, Talladega, sometimes it's a struggle even getting to lap 20.
Yeah, good to be back here. You know, we had the week off, and now we're back here with the Tobacco Road Sim Next Gen Cup Series, Tobacco Road Sim Racing Series. Great to be back, and I'm ready to get this race underway, Rob.
Let's take a look at how our field is going to grid up. Blake Cannon on pole with James Johnson to his outside in P2. Row 2, we're going to find Travis Everett with Patrick Millette in P4. I think that's a new name to the league. Casey Gross in 5th place with GT Irizarry in 6th place. That's going to make up row 3. Row 4, we're going to find Chris Perry in the 34 in P7 and Johnny Thunders in 8th place. Gary Braylon in 9th with Billy Jordan going to round out the top 10. In row 6, Bruce Velasquez Munoz in 11th with Joe Bonner in 12th place. Row 7, Chad Lancaster in 13th with Kyler Adams in 14th place. And then row 8, 15th place goes Scott Matthews with Brandon McLaughlin to his outside in 16th. P17, Ira Kohlhaas in the outside or inside of row 9. Chris Toppings on the outside. Row 10, Brandon Lopez and James McCrae going to round out the top 20. Row 11, we find, well, that's not David Bush III. He's actually in race control, but Nate Lesko going to start in 22nd. John Smith and Brad Harris, 23rd and 24th. And rounding out the field, John Oliverio and Thomas McLaughlin in the Monster Punch liveried car. So looks like 25 cars on track here tonight. Emmett, at Talladega. That's probably the perfect amount of cars to possibly limit the amount of carnage we might see here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is also, Rob, you know, we had the off week, but I know Billy Jordan was in there, Casey Gross was in there, Chad Lancaster. They were all running in the ECRL series, which ran at Daytona and then ran at Atlanta. So now they've got this, they're getting this drafting under their belt and helping them that could propel them to a race win here today at Talladega.
We'll see if they've learned anything here from that race, Emmett, that they can apply to tonight's race. I don't know. I think he can come in with all the strategy in the world for Talladega. It's just a crapshoot once it gets down to it.
Yeah, definitely with this new car. You know, before it was all about, you know, aerodynamics, and I mean, it's still about aerodynamics, but we're not pushing 1,000 horsepower like we used to. We're only pushing 550. So it also comes into play. These guys run half throttle. Fuel strategy comes into play. You wouldn't think it at a super speedway, Rob, but with this new car, it's all about fuel strategy. They'll run half throttle, trying to save as much fuel as they can.
As we mentioned, stage break at lap 20. We'll see how many cautions it takes to get there, but hopefully none, because we'd love to see that. You know, I can't remember the last time I've seen a Talladega race go green flag the whole way through, and you know, I don't want to curse anything tonight here, Emmett, but I think it's probably going to be a while before I see one go green all the way through again. But Blake Cannon and James Johnson leading the field down the back stretch. The pace car just up ahead of them. The lights will be out on the pace car. We'll be going green this time by. And we'll see who holds on to lead into turn one. We'll see how quickly that the field gets himself into, I'm going to say, single file, double file, or even 3 wide on down the back stretch.
Yeah, we're probably going to be experiencing, it's going to be like Noah's Ark. They're probably going to be 2 by 2 by 2. And I mean, with this, like I said, with this new car compared to, you know, we had the tandem drafting with the Gen 6. We had, you know, the Gen 4 where it was plate racing and it was 1,000 horsepower and everybody was so tight. But with this car, everybody's running, you know, half throttle. And I mean, they'll stay in a pack, but it's all about the runs that you get and what manufacturer you're going to go with as well.
Yeah, there we go. Green flag's out. Blake Cannon, James Johnson leading them down into turn one. Looking fairly calm as far as starts go, Emmett, so far. That's what we love to see. Hopefully it sticks that way. But Travis Everett giving Cannon a big old boost here, trying to get those two cars up ahead of the two wide pack that we got in behind them.
Yeah, Travis Everett giving Cannon a big push. As we see James Johnson getting a big push from Patrick Millet. I don't know how to pronounce that, but
I think it's Millet.
Millet. Okay, giving him a big push. And GT Irizarry is right there as well.
Yeah, they're working down the back stretch, or sorry, the front stretch for the first time. They're going to come around to complete lap one. Blake Cannon going to take the reward for leading lap one, but here comes James Johnson on the outside with that push from Millet. They're going to get up in front now. Can Johnson drop down into the bottom ahead of Cannon? See, he's content to stay on the top side right now. And I'm kind of surprised. I thought he would have dove down to the bottom ahead of Cannon and Everett.
Yeah, I thought he would too, but now we see James Johnson now going to go with Millet. Millet's going to go with and give him that shove, and they're going to cut off that run from Blake Cannon. And now GT Irizarry getting a push from Johnny Thunders.
Yeah, Johnny Thunders quickly moving up the outside. They're up 3 spots in behind Irizarry, as you mentioned. The big Thunders up here right now, the Quantum Motorsports driver, giving a big old boost to Irizarry on the top side, but James Johnson's going to come across the lead lap number 2 here. So it looks like driver's fairly content staying 2 wide. As I say that, the 22 moves up to the top side. Actually, that's Joe Bonner, LNG Power Wash driver. He was the first one to try and make it 3 wide. Looks like he got a little scared and backed out of that one pretty quick on it.
Well, the thing is, we see these LNG Power Sport cars, how fast they are, as we're seeing his teammate Blake Cannon up in third. Pole setter, showing that speed really as these guys are slicing and dicing, Rob, early on.
Yeah, they're not throwing any caution to the wind. These guys definitely aren't intent in having a green flag run all the way to the end, but we're starting to see some single file running here as that top line starting to drop down into the bottom, and I see only about 4 cars up on the top side. Looks like who is that? Is that McLaughlin on the top side? No, that's not McLaughlin. That is the 12. I believe it is, of Chris Toppings. Now, Chief Admin, the Quack Pack Admin driver too as well. He's in 14th place, trying to get that top side going, but not a lot of help up there, Emmett.
Yeah, and he's looking for his Quack Pack Racing teammate, Mr. Brad Harris, just trying to get a run, but now he's going to be hung out to dry, and now he's a sitting duck.
Yeah, Brad Harris, unfortunately, way back in the pack right now. Can't give Toppings much help. It's on the bottom side, too, as well. We'll see if maybe as that top side cycles back a little bit, maybe Harris pops up, gives Toppings a little bit of help, but James Johnson continued to lead this one since he's got out front. See, he's content right now to stay there. Millette, Cannon, Everett tucked in behind. So these drivers just going to work together trying to get to the stage break here, Emmett, and then they'll wait till a little later in the race to really get racy.
Yeah, but we got, let's see. Hold on a second, let me do some math real quick. We got 16 laps to go to the stage break, so probably guys trying to save fuel as Bruce Velasquez Munoz, another LNG Power Sports. LNG Power Sports, Rob, has really brought some great cars, and they've helped that. Oh man, GT Arizari, big shot to the 81, and look at that nose, Rob. That's going to hurt that aero package on that car.
Yeah, he's got a heavy punched-in Mustang. Thankfully for him, though, he's still sitting in the draft. As long as he stays in the draft, he should be okay, Emmett. But once he tries to pop out and make that move, that's where he's going to be like hitting a big old aero wall. He's not going to lose a ton of pace, but as long as he stays tucked in behind his teammate there, should be okay. We'll see if he chooses to pop out, but he's going to need draft to stay with the pack.
Yeah,
121 on the top side of Kyler Adams there. He's just hanging on the back end of that top side. They need a few more cars up there, Emmett, so they can get moving.
Yeah, they definitely need a few more cars, and you know, we got Casey Gross. That top side, I mean, Breland is really getting a good push from Velasquez, but they're waiting for Bonner to get up to the back as Travis Everett now is going to join the party to go up there with them, Rob.
Yeah, Everett had enough hanging out on the bottom side with Johnson, Millette. He's going to move up to the top side, see if he can get that top line back up out front. So they got a nice formation now. Emmett's getting a nice push on the top side as looks like Millette's lost his buffer in behind, but the 93 going to drop down Velasquez Munoz. Oh man, the 22 of Bonner too as well. Diving down to the bottom of those LNG Power Sports cars, sticking together on track.
Yeah, LNG Power Sports staying together, and we see right there on the bottom is that 44 machine of their teammate, Blake Cannon. He's wanting to get up there with them, Rob.
Yeah, he's only a couple spots back, looking to make some moves to get up there with his teammates. You see GT Irizarry now up on the top side. Oh, now he's the front car. He's going to want to try and get to the bottom as quick as he can. For that damage, we're going to see exactly what happens with that front end damage. He's lost a ton of pace, not getting any help there either. It's just him and the 7 of Scott Matthews being hung out to dry up on the top side.
Yeah, Scott Matthews goes up to the high side and try to help GT out, but it's going to take a lot. They're going to have to, the 121 of Kyler Adams, I would move up there, because then you start, you know, you're sitting here in 7th. You see the run going as Gary Braylon's going to move up there. He knows what to do to win here, Rob.
As you mentioned, last season's winner, Gary Braylon, he also took the championship as well. So he's well versed in these super speedways. And we'll see if he's able to snatch away another win. He's getting a nice push from the 13 of Everett. They're starting to get a little more formation on the top, but James Johnson's still leading the way. He's found a way to stay out front once he took that position away on lap number 2.
Yeah, doing a great job to stay out front in the Lowe's 48 machine. Throwback to the 2006, 2007, and 2008 Lowe's machine. Had to think about how many years Jimmy ran that scheme.
Yeah, it was pretty synonymous with Jimmy Johnson and winning for a number of years. I'd say a solid decade of
oh yeah,
strong racing there for that Lowe's 48. Let's go a little farther back in the pack here, Emmett, and see what's going on. We got Brandon McLaughlin. He's a little farther back there, sitting in behind Chad Lancaster. Looks like they're just kind of cruising here on the bottom side, trying to stay out of anything that might happen up ahead of them. But looks like we got a nice solid race going. We're already into lap 10.
Yeah, good racing. You know, we haven't had anything happen yet. But yeah, great racing from these guys for sure.
I'm kind of surprised to see Brad Harris hanging out so far at the back. You know, I thought maybe we'd see him up towards the front. James McRae back there too as well. A couple of drivers that we're used to seeing battling up at the front, but there's always that strategy at super speedways where, you know, you want to kind of try and avoid any kind of big one that might happen, and staying back to the pack might be able to avoid that from. I guess basically you want to either be right at the very sharp end of the field, or at the back is the best spot. In the mushy middle is where everything kind of goes awry.
Yeah, it definitely goes crazy, and I think they're liking where they're at, Rob.
Start to see a little bit of separation here as this pack at the back falling back a little bit. They were in danger of losing the draft now. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Emmett, but it's very easy to lose the draft in these next-gen cars. They don't draft up real well once you lose it. I want to say once you get about half a second behind that car that's ahead of you, you're in danger of starting to lose the draft. So these guys want to stay tight as much as they can up to the car ahead, while trying to leave a little bit of space in case something happens up ahead. But you know, you get into that half second back of the car ahead of you, lose that draft. It is terribly difficult to try and chase back up unless something were to happen, or the cars ahead of you start going 2-3 wide.
Yeah, definitely. And just like you were saying, Rob, it is just like that. I mean, these cars, people call them the world's fastest boats because they do take a while to get going. But once they get going, then it starts picking up, and you can see as, you know, looking at these guys, they're pushing. The thing is, though, if I'm Patrick Millette, I'm not liking being in the lead because I can't save fuel as much as James Johnson, Scott Matthews, these guys behind you. That's the problem you run into when you're in the lead and you're leading this thing, where these guys can save because they're right up on your back bumper. They're just dragging the brake, you know, la-da-da, la-da-da. And, you know, Millette, he's pushing 188. James Johnson is pushing about 185, 187. So you definitely see that. But then you look further back, Casey Gross is pushing 190. So, I mean, it's a little tomato, but I don't want to be lead this thing because that's when you can run out of fuel.
I'm not sure how far they can go on a green flag run here with what they're limited to tonight. I mean, I'm hoping they can get to the stage break. Otherwise, somebody made some terrible miscalculations in the fuel limit. But again, stage break coming at lap 20. We are now on lap 13, so we're getting close to that stage break here. We'll see if we can go green the whole way through. So far, so good. Excellent stuff. This really bodes well for a nice, clean race. But you know, we're starting to see a little more jockeying for position at the front end. Drivers starting to get a little more impatient here, Emmett, as they're trying to get themselves up towards the sharp end of the field.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, looking at these guys, as we ride on board with GT Arizari, you can just see how it is running this line. I mean, look at that move he just made. Whoa, as he gets to the back of Everett. But that's the thing, Rob. When that window opens, you got to take it, or, you know, you're going to be, if you take it too late, that's when all the chaos happens, and you're going to be the one that causes the big one. And you don't want to be the guy coming on when you're coming off pit road. You don't want to be the Kevin LePage of this league.
Nobody wants. I don't think anybody wants to be the Kevin LePage of any league in that sense. But yeah, definitely not at a super speedway like Talladega. I can take out a number of racers real quick, but hopefully we don't see any LePage antics here tonight. But it looks like Bonner got himself up on the top line here, leading that second pack. He's got, looks like the 42 of John Oliveira pushing him, but Oliveira going to go high. Looks like is that GT Arizari or Scott Matthews up on the top side? That's the 81 of Brandon McLaughlin now tucking up in behind Bonner. We'll see if they can move together. Brandon McLaughlin with the Hawaiian King's Hawaiian paint scheme. We got some pit stops here under green.
Yeah, it looks like GT Zeri, Chris Perry, Travis Everett, Scott Matthews, all coming in for a stop. Now, this is what's going to be interesting, Rob. How do they stick together? Are they going to be tight when they get off pit road, or is there going to be those gaps in between them? Because we saw this in real life in the 500. That's what killed these guys with their runs. As, oh, Travis Everett overshoots his pit stall. But that's going to be the question for sure.
Yeah, that's going to cost Everett a ton, but looks like he's going to get back out with that pack. Luckily for him, that could have been all sorts of unfortunate for him, but I suspect we're going to see a few more cars pop into the pits this time by. Emmett, let's head up to the leaders here. Patrick Millette, we'll see if they pop in. They're already past pit entry, so they're going to go one more lap around. Let's see, it doesn't look like we have any more takers right now, so interesting. Normally you see after the lap after where some guys duck in for green flag stops. Usually you see some more of the field pop in too as well. But we only got 3.5 more laps before we hit the stage break, so it's kind of interesting. I wonder if maybe they had enough fuel to make it or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. And what tells me those guys, they're racing for the stage win. You know, these guys are, I mean, they're racing for the win rather than the stage win. Rather, these guys are going for those stage points. And I think they, well, actually, we're just being told James Johnson is coming in this time.
All right, we'll hop on board here with Johnson. There he is. He's pulling off. Looks like he has Millette coming in too as well. Looks like they might be the only two. Velasquez, Munoz into as well. So only 3 cars broke off this time, Emmett, to come in for their pit service. So still have a number of cars. Over 20 cars still on track that haven't come in for a fuel stop.
Yeah, and I was trying to look and see what happened because Travis Everett had about 100, what was it, 100, I'm sorry, not 100, a minute pit stop. And I was trying to see, I wonder if he got a penalty, Rob.
I'm showing 6.4 in his box, 38 overall. I think you might be looking at Chris Toppings was over a minute.
Okay, Chris Toppings, that's who it was.
Yeah,
I got my 13 and 12 mixed up.
Yeah, Toppings out early on, but we're seeing now James Johnson back on track. He's going to cycle back in behind Everett, who was pitting early on. So it looks like the undercut seemed to work for that pack. But we are on lap 19. We're going to get the stage break next time by. So it's going to be interesting here to see. So there are drivers that came in already.
Oh,
They're going to come back out. They're going to be a lap down here, but they're already going to be fueled up, Emmett.
that's going to be interesting because pits closed at lap 18. So if you come in, you're going to get a black flag, Rob.
True, yeah. They're stuck out there now till the stage break. Good point. Brandon Lopez leads the way now. The black and I'm not sure if that's silver or white Red Bull paint scheme, might even be chrome a little bit, leading the way. But actually John Smith going to make the run on the top side. Looks like he could be our stage break winner. Is there 3 wide in behind him? That's going to bode well for him. There we go. Yellow flag is out. We are on lap 20. Stage break. Looks like John Smith's going to take the stage break win.
That's what I was wondering, if they're going to throw the yellow at 20 or if they're going to come all the way back to 21. But my question was answered. David did a good job that first stint.
I didn't have much to do in race control. Yeah. We were green flag the whole way through. So now we'll see where the strategy plays out between our cars who have already pit and the ones who haven't. So it looks like Bruce Munoz is going to be our lead car of that. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars that pit under green.
Yeah, it's going to, like I said, I mean, John Smith, whatever. He's ran good. He ran really good at Bristol until he got involved in a wreck. But, you know, you're talking about Brandon Lopez. I've always thought that scheme looks awesome, but every time I see it, it's been wrecked, and I hate that to happen. Such a beautiful race car.
Yeah, well, you know what they say about Red Bull paint schemes. He's got a little bit of damage on the left front, did a little extra rubbing his racing there for him, but he'll be able to come in and get that polished up while he gets a little splash of fuel. Some fuel getting up in behind the pace car. They'll be able to pop into the pits next time by, I believe. The pits should be open next time.
You know, Rob, you won a couple races in this league, and when you're driving an unsponsored car, then you catch the eye of these corporate people, and I'm so happy to see Blake Cannon have a sponsor on that car.
Yeah, Blake Cannon rocking a sponsor now. Chris Topping's getting the lucky dog as our only car a lap down, but yeah, Blake Cannon, one of the LNG Power Sports drivers, I think they've got probably about 25% of the field under their banner now.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So hats off to Joe Bonner, the leader of LNG Power Sports. He's recruiting all the heavy hitters in this league.
I tell you, Blake Cannon reminds me a lot of Lightning McQueen. You know, they said he came into this league as an unknown rookie, but everybody knows him now, and that's exactly right. I mean, he put the whipping on him at Watkins Glen, which everyone knew he would, they said, and then followed it up at Bristol.
Well, it sounds like somebody ran out of fuel on the yellow lap here.
That's what I was hearing too.
I didn't quite catch who it was, though. Potentially, it might have been John Olivero, as it looks like he might have had to tow back to the pits. So unfortunate for him. We'll see how that works out as the rest of the field coming in to get their service done, who didn't stop early on. So interesting. Actually, it looks like all of our guys except for James Johnson came back in to get another top off of fuel. So James Johnson going with a different strategy here. He's going to take pole. Oh, he's driving right through the pace car. So I'm not sure if maybe he got a lucky dog wave around here too as well, or what's going on, but he's going to go around one more lap, he and Chris Toppings.
That's what I'm thinking.
They got their own little drag race down the back straight here now, Emmett. But say John Smith's going to come back off pit road as the leader. It's 10 seconds ahead of Blake Cannon.
What? 5 seconds. It's cutting it down.
I'm not sure how he got on and off pit road so quick. They all came in at the same time, but interesting.
Very interesting.
But John Smith took the stage break win. He's going to have a top spot for once we go green again. No more stage breaks till the end. It's going to be just a sprint till the end. We'll probably have, as the lights on the pace car, I don't think are off yet. Let's take a look. And the lights are still on, so we have at least two more laps around. Looks like we're going back green at about lap 24 potentially. So about 40 laps or so till the end. And at first 20 laps in the books. How do you think it went? What are you expecting here for the last 3/4 of the race?
Well, I said pure chaos in the first stage, but you know, I think we're going to have some good pack racing. But somebody's going to make that little mistake, that little block, that little error, and it's just going to just wipe out the field.
So see Gary Braylon coming back in for another little splash under yellow. We've got some more strategy at play here too as well. These guys topping off. We got a number of cars back in to top off too as well. I think say about half the field come back in this time by here, Emmett, to get another little splash before we go green.
Yeah, just get another little splash of gas. So we see Scott Matthews, Brandon McLaughlin, Velasquez, John Smith, Brad Harris, Chris Perry, all coming in just to get a little bit more top off.
Brandon McLaughlin with his traditional Buffalo Bills profile picture.
Well, you know he can't finish
for them. Yeah. We know if he's leading the race, he's gonna have a hard time finishing. We need the old ba-dum-bum ching in the Discord for that. There we go.
I was about to say, I got you.
So we'll see if Brandon can make the city of Buffalo proud and do what Josh Allen couldn't, and take the win here this evening.
Oh Oh, goodness. It's all right. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I ain't got no room to talk, so.
Here's a paint scheme you don't see very often. Nate, let's go with the pull-ups.
What is that on that car? That is questionable.
Huggies pull-ups. I wonder if he's got. Wonder if he's got some kids and they asked him to rock the old pull-ups paint scheme. But man, you don't see that one very often. Huggies pull-ups, love it.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
Used to seeing him in the Nesquik car, but he's got the Nesquik in his profile picture there. So hats off to him. That's a heck of a profile picture. But pace car pulled in. We're going to go back green here, Emmett. And Joe Bonner, Casey Gross going to lead the way.
Yeah, Joe Bonner, has had some tough luck in the last few races. Not finished them, but here he is, out here leading at Talladega.
There we go. We are back green again. Top four got a massive jump. Looks like Kyler Adams and Chad Lancaster caught sleeping. They'll be able to reel them back in, though, fairly quickly. Still in the draft, but looks like Casey Gross going to get out front. Is he going to drop down to the bottom now to secure that position? Not quite yet. Looks like he's going to stay on the high side. There he comes down on the backstretch. Going to bring James McRae with him. So we were talking earlier, we're surprised McRae and Harris were kind of hanging out at the back end. Harris still back there, but James McRae working his way up into second place.
Yeah, James McRae working his way up. I have no idea what that is on that car. I couldn't tell you. That's not my. Oh, it's Godzilla, but it's Godzilla.
Sanrio characters. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. I'm a little too old to know what that is, Rob.
We'll have to do a little bit of a research to find out what is that all about. But let's see, it looks like GT Arizari was able to get that front end damage repaired on his car, and he's promptly making it 3 wide with no help on the back straiys. He's trying to make a move around.
Man, what a move.
The 99 of Gary Braylon, but no help up there. Doing it solo, trying to side drive to get some help coming up there now. Not sure who that is. Back there looks like the 34 of Chris Perry trying to go with him. Perry thinks otherwise, though, drops back down to the middle line. Arizari trying to get back down there. He's got a little bit of space, but doesn't want to compromise his run he had on the outside.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Rob, that is the first quantum car I've seen from Casey Gross that is not pink or purple. Oh, man.
Maybe next week.
Yeah. He didn't get the memo.
So we are back. We're back to 2 wide racing here again, Emmett.
I was just going to say Billy Jordan didn't get the memo that those are the ECRL scheme only ECRL. Don't run it in the tobacco road. Oh, man.
Hey, a paint's a paint, but that second pack starting to fall off here. They need to get a little bit of organization there and get themselves back up to the lead pack. It's like Billy Jordan trying to do it, but not getting much help from the cars in behind.
So here's the thing that I'm wondering. Are these guys thinking this is the calm before the storm? That's what I'm thinking. We look back there. There's some great cars with James Johnson, Blake Cannon. All these guys are running up front. I think that's why they dropped back there, Rob.
It could be. We'll have to see if they continue on with that strategy as the race goes on here. There's all kinds of different strategies you can have at play at a race at Talladega, but we're starting to see the drivers a little more willing to go 2 and 3 wide here. As we're nearing the halfway point, we've got about 3 more laps or so. About another 5 laps before we hit the halfway point, so we're getting there. Starting to see a little more jockeying for position, but Casey Gross got out front. He's been able to hold on to that spot. He and Chad Lancaster working well together with Johnny Thunders on the bottom side. Looks like James McRae sticking there too as well. That top side starting to struggle a little bit here as much of those drivers have dropped down to the bottom.
Yeah, that top side really struggling. They just don't have the energy, and I see that GT Arizari got that nose fixed, so that's going to help him. Chris Perry's trying to push Irizarry up there and Travis Everett along there. I tell you though, Travis Everett, he was lucky with the big old rooster on the car, and not having the rooster on the car could really impact his run he has tonight, Rob.
Yeah, he's going to have to go back to the black rifle paint job that he sported for the majority of the first season.
Yeah.
This, not sure what he's got on there right now, trying to pick it up. Oh, it is black rifle. He just doesn't have the rooster on the front. He's just got a different flavor here, but he's going to have to go back to the OG paint scheme. It did him well, as you mentioned.
Well, me and Mac, we always told him, we were like, we want to see the Tactisquatch, the best one there is. Of course, there's a Chick-fil-A car in the field earlier this season, and that kind of surprised me. He said Chick-fil-A wasn't his favorite. He was a Popeyes guy.
I've heard him say that before, and I almost kicked him out of the booth for it.
I was gonna say, I don't know what they're telling him in Kentucky, but he didn't even say KFC was his favorite. I was like, the Colonel is looking down on you right now, bro.
Yeah. He didn't put those spices together for no reason.
Yeah, for real. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, hands down, Popeyes has the best jingle. You know, love that chicken from Popeyes. I don't know how you can defeat that. Chick-fil-A's got to come up with something better. Popeyes has got them beat there. But speaking of beat, Casey Gross still leads the way. GT Irizarry's trying to get that top side. Not getting much help here. He's still got Perry in behind him. We see Gary Branlin now going to pop up in front of Irizarry. See if now with one or two extra cars they can start getting that top side moving here. I meant, but the bottom looking a little more set up, a little more in line, and you know, there's just not much the top side can do right now. Even trying to side draft isn't working for them.
Yeah, there's not much that they could do, and I mean, they're trying Braylon up top. Irizarry's trying to push him, but there's too many cars on the bottom, Rob.
Yeah, we see James Johnson, the leader of the majority of the first stage, got caught out by coming in under that green flag stop that he made. I'm not sure if maybe he didn't get the memo that we had a stage break at lap 20, or if any of these guys that came in didn't quite get the memo that we're doing a stage break there, or maybe they were just worried, as we did hear that I still think it might have been Oliveira that ran out of fuel on that yellow lap, the yellow flag lap, but I guess it would have been cutting very close. These guys tried to not take that chance that came in. They probably thought the rest of the field would follow them in. Didn't work out for them, but Johnson at the back slowly making his way forward. He's got Brad Harris in behind him, and Brandon Lopez there too as well. We
have breaking news, Rob. I have found out what is on James McRae's car. It was a collab with the Sanrio organization, like Hello Kitty, Cinnamon Roll, who we've seen on his car in the races past. So it's a collab, and they're like plushies.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Interesting.
I have no idea what that is, but that's what Google says, so we're gonna go with it.
I bet you those things are probably worth a decent buck to as well to collectors.
Oh, yeah. Well, the little troll dolls, what were they worth? Like $1,000, some of them, and $5,000. I'm like, I don't know what it was. It was called Wonderwall or something. I don't know, Wommel or something like that. But yeah, James McRae could probably tell us.
Yeah, judging by his paint schemes he brings out every week, he's probably well versed in the collector's stuff of that vintage. Man, if I had all the stuff that I had as a kid and would have kept, I would have been a millionaire many times over at this point in time. It's one of those things where, you know, you're not sure what's going to be of value 20, 30 years down the road, and some of the stuff that is just going to shake your head at. But we got top three cars trying to break away now. Gross, Lancaster Thunders breaking away a little bit from James McRae, and Joe Bonner. Start to see a little more action here at the front. Emmett, drivers starting to try and separate themselves into separate packs, but they get quickly reeled back in with that draft.
Yeah, Lancaster, Gross, and Thunder's trying to separate them, but take a look at Johnny. Take a gander at Johnny Thunders right here, running the foul out Toyota. Yeah, is that a Toyota? I couldn't see the manufacturer. I'm telling you, Rob,
he's
I'm
in a
getting
Ford.
old.
He's in a Ford.
He's in a Mustang. Okay.
Yeah.
Got the big gander Canadian Goose on the side of that car. Needs to get it in a V shape, you know. running that Canadian Goose paint scheme, you'd think that he'd know about aerodynamics and drafting as the Canadian Goose when they migrate up north or south. I don't know.
Speaking of migrating, we got the lap down car of Chris Topping's Quackback racing car. He's a lap down, trying to stay high. He's trying to migrate to the back of the field here now while everybody else moves by. Looks like Chris Perry a little sketchy there, got a little loose. They try to go, oh, the 93 of Velasquez Munoz up into the wall, and we have our first yellow flag.
Got to give props to David Bush because he was on top of that. You know, sometimes it takes a little bit, but David, props to you, man. You were on that first caution.
Let's take a look here and see what caused Munoz to get hard into the wall. Oh, so you got a little touch there from Johnson. And off he went. They were 3 wide at the very back of the pack. I wonder if that was just as they're trying to navigate around Chris Topping's the lap car, and you know, things just got a little loose from there. But he'll have a quick repair. He'll be able to go back around, get that damage fixed up. He'll have to unfortunately be at the end of the pack because he's got a meatball flag from that contact.
That's the thing, like, you know, you have a fast repair, but if you tow, you gotta wait a minute before you can get into the pits. But if you can limp it around, that's why I prefer to limp it around rather than tow. Because if you can limp it around, you're golden. You could just go right off the bat.
Yeah, if you can still drive the thing, you are much better off to drive it back to the pits. And I'm actually surprised. That was a heavy hit that he hit the wall, that he is able to drive it back. Usually you'd see the right front suspension kind of knocked right off it and locked up. But I say that right front tire isn't spinning. So yeah, he's three-wheeling it back. But as I mentioned, he's going to have a quick repair. He'll be able to get that repaired and back on track. As we see, it looks like the majority of the field are going to take the opportunity to come in for some fuel here, Emmett. I'm not sure if any of them are going to take any tires or not. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I have to keep an eye on that as we take a look at Casey Gross coming in. Casey's been running good today. That car's fast, but GT Zeri's staying out, Rob.
Interesting move for him. I guess he's banking on we're going to have at least one more yellow, because we know he won't be able to do it on a fuel run. As they only have about 20 laps of fuel, so they're going to have to need to stop at least one more time here after this yellow flag here for them to get to the checkered. So we'll see here how that works out for GTR's area. I guess nothing really to be lost by trying a different strategy.
So that was interesting right there. Blake Cannon took 2 tires, James Johnson took 4, and Travis Everett took 2.
Okay, we'll have to keep on those, keep an eye on those drivers to see if there's any kind of advantage to the 4 tires over the 2. But you know, as far as I understand, I don't think Talladega is real hard on tires. These guys aren't necessarily scrubbing the tires into the corners, so I don't think there's going to be a big difference in the end, Emmett. But we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. And just like you said, that is correct, Rob. Talladega is not hard on tires, especially with the new repavement that they had back in, don't quote me, but I think it was 2010, 2009. I'll do some research and I'll get back with you on that.
We'll send Emmett off to the research booth downstairs. And we'll see what he can find out. But man, what we got for bigger? John Smith is our biggest mover of the race so far, up 20 spots from where he started. The Nap Daddy Racing driver currently sitting in third place. A nice run for him. We saw him take the stage win, first stage at lap 20, so we know he can move. Accomplished driver, 3,127 I rating. One of the higher I rating drivers in the lobby here, I believe. Blake Cannon is our highest rated driver with 4,857. And we got a number of drivers in the 3,000 range with Brandon Lopez, John Smith, Nate Lesko. Who else we got? We got GT Irizarry just cresting the 4,000 mark. So some accomplished drivers here in this race, Emmett.
Yeah, and I'm back here, Rob. Whew, man, I ran down there.
Oh, did you take the elevator?
No, I didn't. The elevator was jammed, so I couldn't take it. But Talladega was repaved last. I was off by 3 years. It was repaved in 2006. Was the last repavement.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I knew it was somewhere in that range because I remember Jimmy Johnson won the first race at the 499, but then in the second race is where Junior and Johnson were side by side, and Brian Vickers hit Johnson into Junior. As a Junior fan, I still did not like that moment.
Still have that little burr in your saddle on that one, eh?
Oh, a little bit, but things pass, drivers change. Yeah.
We see the field working down the backstretch into turn 3. Lights are on the pace car, so we're going to head back to green here on lap 39. That's going to give us a 26 lap dash here to the end, Emmett. So we know they can only go about 20 laps in fuel. They are going to need one more stop if it goes green. That could be interesting if we go green right up until about lap 58, 59 or so. What kind of strategy comes into play there?
Well, if you're behind the car, you're running half throttle and dragging the brakes so you can just be pushed around the track and save as much as you can. But if you're in the lead, I think you're SOL, Rob.
We'll have to keep an eye on which drivers at the front here might try and cycle themselves back to the back to save a little bit of fuel. We've seen Brad Harris kind of hanging out at the back all race. This could be where his strategy comes into play here, Emmett, as the race comes to the end. He's got his teammate Chris Toppings back on the lead lap here now. He's able to use that lucky dog. He's back on the tail of the pack, so we'll see if the two of them can work some strategy. But Ira Kohlhaas, driver we haven't seen up front here this evening, he is going to take top spot as we go back to green. We are 3 wide in behind with Nate Lesko, the meat in the sandwich here, able to get out of that one alive. And Gary Brayling, a little boost on the back end to get him through there. That could have went all sorts of wrong very quickly.
Yeah, you got me just making all kinds of sound effects, but I mean, those moves, I was just like, oh my gosh. And now you see the effect of being hung out in the sucker hole, as great DW would say. But now he's going to go, Gross is going to go all the way to the back till he can follow the line. He may get behind Brad Harris, but man, tough break. But look at that, Rob. Now you get Billy Jordan and Tracy Gross, 2 quantum cars, get them hooked together and see if they can get to the front, if they can get together.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But that might have been that strategy we were just talking about, where we said, are any of the drivers at the front going to cycle back to the pack, try and save a little fuel? Looks like Casey Gross, the only driver taking that strat right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether it was a big brain strategy here or not for Casey Gross as the race goes on. But we got a number of drivers giving the old boost up front, trying to get going. As we get closer to the end, we're going to see drivers a little less patient with those moves.
Yeah, and that's where the chaos starts, you know. A lot of these drivers get impatient about running behind somebody, and then you see somebody tuck out a line, and then somebody throws a Logano or Keselowski signature block and ends up wadding half the field.
Yeah, we don't want any Keselowskis or Logano moves here tonight.
No, no, we don't.
So we got a lap car coming off up ahead. I think that is the 93 of Munoz. I'm actually surprised to see he didn't get back out in the pack using that quick repair after this. He was 4 minutes in his stall, so Maybe they don't have a quick repair for this race. I saw talk about it in chat Discord early on. I thought they had decided to add it in, but it looks like they might have left it out for this race.
Yeah, it looks like it. With all these guys have all these damage. Well, I mean, he's the only car. Actually, they might have a fast repair because Velasquez has a clean car, but Travis Everett's nose is all dented up.
Oh yeah, Everett, the GT Arizari nose on the front end of that black rifle machine there. So he's going to be aero deficient if he tries to pop out. I say that, he does exactly that. I wonder if he doesn't know if he has any damage on the front end of that car. I mean, as he popped out into that topside pack just ahead of Gary Braylon. See Braylon throw a little bit of sparks up on the top side of those cars, bottom out through the corner.
Yeah, and I just want to add, Rob, I just went back and looked, and they do have a fast repair. Both Velasquez and Lesko have used their fast repairs.
Interesting. He was in the stall for 5 minutes, so I thought maybe he just didn't have his fast repair checked or not. But anyways, unfortunately for him,
maybe he didn't know about it.
Maybe. It's always a possibility. As we're nearing 20 to go here, Emmett. So far, so good. John Smith, the stage 1 leader, sitting comfortable in 3rd place, looking strong. He's still our biggest mover of the race. Up 20 spots in 3rd place, top 3, breaking ahead a little bit from Johnny Thunders, but Thunders, one of those Quantum Motorsports drivers, looking for a couple of his teammates here on track, see if they can link up and move to the front.
Yeah, I forgot Johnny Thunders is a part of Quantum. I didn't recognize him without his pink and purple car. But I wanted to add the thing that's interesting with this top 3, Smith, Lopez, and Kohlhaas, they all pitted on lap 22 compared to Thunders, Everett, McLaughlin, everybody else pitted on lap 36. So they got to be saving. Up there it is.
Yeah, I just heard on the radio somebody coming into the pits. I didn't catch who it was, though. Emmett, did you happen to catch who that was?
Yes, it's going to be Ira Kohlhaas is coming in this time.
Okay, we'll see if anybody pops in with them. We know they can't make it to the end under a green flag run. So he's going to be in solo. That's going to cost him. He's not going to have any drafting or dance partner here, Emmett. He's going to fall a lap down very quickly. Unfortunate for the number 1 car who was leading the race here.
Yeah, and so that makes me wonder, if I'm Lopez or Smith, I gotta be worried about that. How much have they saved, you know, rather than Kohlhaas, who was leading the pack? And that's what I was talking about, Rob. If you're out in front, you cannot save as much as the guy behind you.
Yeah, these guys in mid-pack are going to be running maybe half to 3/4 throttle for a lot of it, depending how many cars are in this line, and it's saving a ton of fuel. So I'm actually surprised we're not seeing more, you know, drivers from the front kind of cycling to the back to save a little bit of fuel. They're kind of just staying where they are. So we'll see how that strategy works out. Travis Everett's now worked himself up into front with that nose damage. He's going to be burning a ton of fuel.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at the miles per hour, I mean, well, that was not right. There's no way one of these cars hit 206. So I think that was just a glitch. But, I mean, Braylon, he can run it. So he's running 194, 193. So, I mean, these guys, I don't think it's going to play out for Smith and Lopez staying out that long.
Now let's keep an eye on them. Actually, I'm looking. It looks like Lopez pit on lap 33. So he should be okay, yeah. Looks like a majority of the field came back in on 36, though, before we went back to green, topped off. So Lopez definitely going to be down a couple laps compared to a majority of the field here. As he's sitting in 3rd place right now. He's ducked back a little bit, trying to save a little bit of fuel as he's tucked in behind Gary Braylon, who's now got himself up to the sharp end of the field.
Yeah, and now we see Braylon, the defending champion, the defending winner of this race, knows how to do it. And I tell you, he's playing the Carl Edwards strategy because he stayed quite a bit back, didn't really try to lead until the end. and now he's right here. And it reminds me of '09 when Edwards stayed all the way in the back. Of course, got went into the fence, but Brad Keselowski, but was leading on the last lap.
Wait, is that an Edwards paint scheme that Braylon's running to as well?
Yes. So
Yes.
Braylon he's ran the Office Depot car. He's ran, I believe, the Affleck car, if I remember right. And now he's running the Fastenal scheme. So Gary Braylon, and here's the crazy thing. So my great-grandma's last name was Edwards. But, and this is the crazy thing, she lived in Missouri, where Carl Edwards was from, but she said she didn't think we had any kinfolk in Columbia, Missouri. But isn't that crazy?
Maybe long lost cousin 10 times removed for you there, Emmett.
Well, it's funny because, like, you know, they always called him Cousin Carl, and that's what we joke about. And my mom would get a little mad at my dad when he would say that, just joking with her. But, oh, man. I just got to thinking about that off the top of my head.
Love it. You never know out there. Maybe one day down the line, somebody will take in to tell you something and be like, you know what? I always wondered. We are under 20 to go now, Emmett. We are at 17 left. Ooh, see a little bit of jockeying in behind there. As looks like Casey Gross got himself back up towards the front again, but almost got wrapped up in a wreck there between he and I think that might have been Blake Cannon potentially that was on his inside. Either way, they were able to avoid any kind of carnage, and they're going to keep going. But things getting racy towards the mid-pack.
Yeah, and I was just going to say I might not be related to Carl Edwards, but I can confirm that I was related to Conway Twitty.
I guess that's a decent consolation prize.
Right? Gotta do with it. Gotta have the slow hand in this race because there's some tight fit jeans. Oh my gosh!
We got Gary Braylon involved, Scott Matthews.
Oh man!
Travis Everett with some damage on the front end of his car. Brad Harris looks like he got through clean, and Thomas McLaughlin looks like he got through clean too as well. So. Looks like maybe it was just Gary Braylon and Scott Matthews got the majority of it. A couple little bangs here and there. Well, I guess Travis Everett, he's going to have to come in for some damage, so unfortunate for him. But he already had that front end that was punched in. He's going to need some repairs either way, Emmett. But that's going to basically clear the field here to come in under yellow, get some fuel, and they're going to be able to go to the end of the race.
Yeah, and just like I was talking about, Rob, somebody gave a shot to Gary Braylon, and it wasn't a square shot. And it was Travis Everett. He tried to push Gary Braylon and did give him a good shot. And yeah, here we go. We'll take a look at the replay.
Yeah, Braylon got loose.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite see if he got a shot there or not. Let's see if we can get another replay here from the chopper cam to get a better look at what happened. So it looks like Braylon went high. Everett was below him, and just a little bit of contact there sent Braylon sideways. Unfortunately, Scott Matthews got wrapped up in that one. Looks like Chris Perry was able to make it through, but rough race for a couple of our mainstays in the league. Travis Everett, Gary Braylon, and Scott Matthews.
Yeah, and Gary Braylon, the defending race winner, the defending champion.
You know, his car doesn't look all that bad for damage. You got a little bit of a rub on the right side, but looks like he came out much better for the wear than what Travis Everett did, who his front end is just punched in.
Actually,
Gary's taking responsibility for that. So here comes the field in for their final pit stop. If we go green to the end, Nate Lesko comes in as the leader. Brandon Lopez in second. We'll see who wins the battle off pit lane here, Mac.
Yeah, Mac, we miss you, bud, but I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting.
My apologies.
Oh, man. You're good. I was just gonna play it off, but we do miss Mac tonight.
He's off in Vegas. I wonder if he's gambling.
Knowing him, probably.
He said they were going to, I can't remember what the convention was, something to do with farming or machinery, but, you know, how can you go to Vegas and not gamble a little bit?
I'm not saying anything bad, but I would not expect Mac to go to a farming convention. I know he's in construction, but I love you, Mac. I'm just kidding with you.
I can't remember if he said it was farming. I think it was machinery or trucking of some sort, something to do with whatever his, like he said, what his father is in or some family business. I can't remember exactly. He explained it to me about a week and a half ago, and I've had so much going on since then that I can't remember exactly what it was, but I do know he's in Vegas, that's for sure. I was in his neck of the woods, well, I guess the opposite side of the state, a few days ago over the weekend for a retirement party, but
Oh,
I know
welcome back.
There was a storm that was going to be heading through Kentucky, and I think they bumped up their plans to head off a little earlier than they were expecting because he was doing the Sunday night broadcast, and he had messaged me just before that he got the word from the big boss that they were leaving as soon as he was done, and they weren't actually supposed to leave till a day or so after, but we're leaving the day after, and there was a storm supposed to come in through, ice, freezing rain and snow, so I think they were probably trying to beat that. Thankfully, we beat it too as well, just a bunch of rain. So
I was about to say, a bunch of rain could be ice for you, though, but I don't know, Adam. What do you think's going to happen? Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, man. I deserve that one.
Man.
Lights are still on the pace car. Should be going off this time by. That's going to put us back green at lap 54. So we're going to have about 11 laps to go here, Emmett. It's going to be a mad dash. It's been a fairly fairly tame race to this point. We've only had the 2 yellows, and even those 2 yellows for an incident at Talladega, it only been 2 or 3 cars involved each time. You know what? I don't want to commentator curse it, but we might go through a Talladega race without the big one.
Yeah, who knows? But I tell you, Nate Lesko, I bet you he's got his pull-ups on right now because he might have a Code Brown moment being up here in the lead. You never know.
Yeah, he's got that Toyota up front, the pull-ups machine. I wonder if any drivers wear those for endurance racing, little pull-ups, depend action. But lights are out on the pace car. Lesko gonna lead the way. Everybody's got enough fuel to get to the end. They've got tires to get the damage fixed. Now it comes down to who goes for glory, who has the guts, Emmett, who makes the push. We know this guy right here, James Johnson. Let's get a better shot of him here. James Johnson, always willing to push the envelope and try and make that move towards the front. We'll keep an eye on him. He likes to try and make those late race moves, aggressive sometimes. Casey Gross, another driver, he usually tries to get himself up towards the front. Brandon McLaughlin, James McRae, all drivers we see at the front end. Surprisingly, Brad Harris still hanging out at the back of the pack here all night.
Yeah, I gotta ask you though, Rob, what is your depends of choice? Which ones do you like?
I'm not that old yet, Emmett. Not that old yet. I'll let you know when I pick one, though.
When you pick one.
And when I try them all out, I'll let you know which one seems to be the best.
Maybe the Walmart brand.
You don't want leakage.
No, you don't.
Field heading through the tri-oval. Barney the flag man with the green flag, ready to drop it. There we go. Green flag's out. Lesko getting a jump. Lancaster on the top side. Johnny Thunder is a little slow to the throttle there in behind Lesko, but he's going to get a nice run here. Let's see what kind of bump he throws into the back of Lesko. McRae going to drop down to the bottom. Oh, he's not actually. Looked like he was going to make the move, but Lancaster actually comes up to join him on the top side. They've left Lesko out to dry on the bottom.
I think this was a design move by Thunders to McLaughlin. To probably came on the radio. We didn't hear it, but I bet you he told him, I'm going to back up to you so that you can give me a push. But what a move by Brandon Lopez.
Oh!
I tell you, oh my God!
Brandon McLaughlin like a heat-seeking missile up into the outside wall. It's like GT Irizarry got wrapped up in that one. I think Chris Toppings too as well. He did all that work to get himself back on the lead lap. Involved in that one. Billy Jordan looks like he made it through with no damage, but
oh man. Brandon's okay.
See me catch another look at what happened there on that one. I did it again on that one there, Emmett. See what
all
kicked
right,
it
Adam.
all off. So we got GT Irizarry on the top side. Oh no, it was actually between the 44 and the 12. So that was, who was the 44? I'm not seeing a 44. Who was that?
Blake Cannon.
Is Blake Cannon the 44? Why am I not seeing him here? Oh yeah, he's 44. He was able to make that through. It looks like he might have been involved in the initial contact, and I think he got through clean. Let's take another look at that one.
I hate to tell you, Rob, but the curse lives on.
Yeah, that's a semi-big one. Semi-big one. I'm not ready to give that one the full big one treatment here tonight, Emmett. That's a semi-big one.
That's a semi. Of course, if our fans who have followed the series remember last year at Talladega coming to the line, that is a semi.
Hey, I'm okay with wrecks at the line. You let it all, leave it all on the track on the last lap, heading to the line, and what happens, what happens.
Oh, there's another quantum car.
Yeah, Chad Lancaster. He looks like he got a little bit of a beach theme paint scheme on that thing.
I think it says Land and Sea.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
NSB.
Let's get the quantum banner just on the rocker panel there. So we
Must be a Florida man deal.
It's a little bit of the quantum team versus the LNG Power Sports team here tonight. The majority of the field being made up by those drivers. We've still got a number of drivers in the pits. Blake Cannon in there, GT Irizarry coming out, but that car is looking wrecked. Now remember, he had to use his fast repair early on. He had that front end punched in. So unfortunately, he doesn't have one to burn. Gary Braylon, he had one left. He's back out on the track. John Oliveira still in the pits. Blake Cannon, Thomas McLaughlin, he's got his car cleaned up. He's heading back out. So unfortunately, a rough night for Irizarry and Blake Cannon.
Tough break. Blake Cannon has been on a roll, but I don't think tonight was his night.
I think he came in leading the championship anyways, Emmett, so he probably had a little bit of buffer. I'm not sure if they're doing any drop weeks at all, but he's probably going to fall down the standings a couple spots, but should be okay heading into next week's race at North Wilkesboro. I should actually throw that up here, season info. There we go. See, next week we're heading to North Wilkesboro. This is race 7 of 20, so we're getting close to the halfway point of the season already.
Wow, that's crazy. We're already at the halfway point. It seems like we just threw the green flag in Daytona just last week. I'll tell you what threw me off was the week off. It feels like we haven't been here in a month.
Yeah, last week was an off week. Not sure if there's another off week or not. I need to check the schedule here quickly. I think it was just the one. Oh, there is an off week in the middle of the, I guess the playoffs, they're calling it, the chase for the cup between round 17 and 18. There's an off week there, so one more off week coming up. Top 16 drivers will battle for the cup championship at the end.
Wow.
Yeah, next week, North Wilkesboro, 20 laps at North Wilkesboro next week. That's going to be interesting. That's a short track to have 25, 30 cars on.
Did you say 20 laps?
200 laps.
Oh, 200 laps. I was going to say 20 laps.
Yeah, no, I said it's a small track to have 25, 30 cars on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. I'll tell you, I've been telling people somebody needs to throw that Sonoma Oval into their schedule, or you
The
know, or a
Mexico
bull
Oval.
ring. Yeah, the Mexican Oval. But that's Sonoma Oval, or Langley. Langley would be interesting for sure.
Hell, just go to USA.
Yeah, yeah. USA Dirt.
Throw 30 Next Gen cars on USA Dirt and have at it. Phil, heading down the back stretch, we're going to have 8 laps to go when we go back green. This is it. I'm predicting we're going to go green to the checkered flag here this evening, and it looks like, I'm not sure who got looks like Gary Braylon might have got the end line penalty for that one too as well, or it might have been the penalty before, but we're getting ready to go here. John Smith, who led the stage break at the start, got himself in 4th place. Emmett, do you think he has what it's going to take to get himself to top spot again here for the checker flag?
Yeah, you know, I think maybe as we see Chris Perry already backing up to Nate Lesko's back bumper, and if that top side can get going like we've seen them do, you know, Smith could make some moves, because I think Lopez might be set and duck if these guys I don't know. I mean, you can't, anything you say at Talladega, it's always the opposite, so we'll see what happens. But yes, he might be able to.
We're back green again, so let's see what happens here. Lancaster gets the jump. He's going to take top spot with McRae in behind him.
Oh, man.
A little slower start there for Lopez in that top line. They've cycled back a couple spots. But Joe Bonner quickly up to the top side. James Johnson going to go with him. I mentioned it during the yellow. Johnson, we know, likes to get aggressive at the end of the race. He's willing to make those moves. Looks like he and Bonner quickly trying to get themselves up to the point.
Yeah, Johnson's trying to push Bonner away from this field so he can set him up on the last lap. And with 8 laps to go, Brandon Lopez is in a great spot.
Oh, Bonner's down.
There they go. No caution. We stay green.
Yeah, solo instant there for Bonner. Fortunate for him, from top spot, we are still green. That's going to move Lancaster up to the point with Lopez now on the top side.
But look at that, Rob. James Johnson got thrown into the middle, but look who's right behind him. It's old Patrick Millette. And those two worked so good in the beginning of this race, and now they find themselves back together.
We're going 3 wide. They're not waiting for the last lap here, Emmett. They are doing it.
That was close.
Lopez leading, Millette in, Johnson. Now Johnson dives to the bottom. He's going to get ahead of Lopez. He's going to get a little bit of boost here from, I believe that's Chad Lancaster on the bottom. Back to 2 lines here now. Johnson leading the bottom, Lopez leading the top. Back to 3 wide again as Lancaster shoots up to the top. Millette going with them as they cross the line. 6 to go. This is going to make it a little bit of a dash here. Emmett, things are getting spicy.
And look who's up here talking about spicy. It's old Blake Cannon back up there. You know, Cannon was running second at Daytona before he got taken out. And now Blake Cannon finds himself up here trying to go for the lead. Look at that move Lopez just made.
He doesn't have much help, though. Help is coming. Are they going to get there quick enough? Lancaster with the push. Almost caught him on the corner of the bumper. That would have sent Lopez immediately down into Millette. And Johnny Thunders on the bottom side. James Johnson out front, though, but he's left a little bit of sitting duck. We got them going off. It's the big one. That's the big one, Emmett.
Yep, there it is.
It's happened.
Oh, man. Whoa. Brandon Lopez just squeaked by a hair.
Oh, man. John Smith, Chris Perry, Chris Toppings, Billy Jordan, Scott Matthews. Joe Bonner was out the lap before. Well, it's Thomas McLaughlin wrapped up in that one. Blake Cannon just had all that damage fixed, got back out on track, had himself up at the front, only to get more damage. Rough race for him. GT Irizarry looks like he's clean.
Yeah, GT's looking clean.
All right, let's see if we can catch a look here at what happened here, Emmett. So it looks like the car of Millette got into Chris Perry, spun him around. Millette was able to keep going, but everything else just kind of kept going from that point on.
But I mean, Brandon Lopez, how did he avoid that? That's when you just keep going and you don't let up.
Let's see if we could get an in-car here from, or a nose shot here from Brandon Lopez as he made it through that one. Perry to his left side, and somehow he managed to avoid it, but there they are all wrecking in behind. Johnny Thunders got through there too as well. See Millette right in behind Lopez. He was on the bottom side of Perry. So I'd like to try and maybe get a shot here from Millette's nose, see if we can kind of get a look here at what happened from his point of view.
Oh, he got into him.
Yeah. Be interested to see how that one's ruled.
We're still waiting for the claim window.
It doesn't look like anybody's claimed responsibility yet. Let's go. Let's take one more look here at it from Millette's point of view again. So he went low. It looks like, to me, it looks like Millette kind of came up into Perry. He was in behind Perry, trying to drop down a little bit. They just kind of caught that left corner, but from that angle, it's kind of hard to see exactly whether Millette went up or Perry came down a little bit. He almost came down into Johnny Thunders there afterwards.
Yeah. Almost pulled a Mark Martin when he was warming up on the formation lap, warming up the tires, and the car just went into the wall.
Oh, there we go. Claim window is open.
No, that's the claim window's open. That's the jingle.
Need one of those little bells like at the doctor's office or dentist's office there. Or at the airport. Paging,
elevator music.
Responsible driver. Paging.
I know, right?
But James McRae and James Johnson, a couple of Jimmies leading the way here. They're going to start on the front end of the field. Let's see, lights still on. The pace car, we'll have to see if they go out this time by. If so, looks like we're going to have about a 3 or 4 lap dash here to the finish, Emmett.
Yeah, it's going to be... It could be between James and James, but... Brandon Lopez, Rob, he's hungry. I mean, he's ran up in the front several times, have been taken out in late race wrecks, so he's got to be hungry for that win.
He might be just counting his blessings right now that he wasn't involved in that wreck that was going off on his left-hand side. Somehow Chris Perry didn't catch him when he came back across up the track in that Red Bull number 5. Able to continue on. So we'll see here what Brandon Lopez has to offer for James McRae and James Johnson. But Casey Gross right there too as well. We've seen him up at the sharp end of the field all night. Travis Everett, never count him out. Look at this guy out of nowhere. He's been at the back of the pack all night. Brad Harris now has himself up into 6th place.
Yeah, Brad Harris being the marquee guy for Quack Pack Racing up here with the chance. Of course, Brad Harris, if anyone remembers, he was running the camo number 9 car last year and parted the seas for Gary Braylon to take home that win.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little team strategy on the Quack Pack Racing side of things, Emmett.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, Quack Pack Racing was non-existent until I spoke it into existence.
That could be that night. That could have been the defining moment right there that united Quack Pack Racing.
Well, it's funny because after that, Chris messaged me and he was like, Quack Pack Racing, I love it. That's funny. And then he sent me the logo and I was like, heck yeah.
Well, let's see what Quack Pack Racing can do tonight. They've got Brad Harris in 6th, James McRae for JC Esports in top spot, James Johnson, one of the LNG drivers, to the outside, Casey Gross, one of the Quantum drivers, in 3rd place, Brandon Lopez, Nap Daddy Racing in 4th, and we got Harris and Everett sitting there in 5th and 6th. So a number of teams represented here at the start. Pace car going to duck in. We're going to have 2 laps here, Emmett, to crown a winner.
Yeah. Did we get them under green, or did we finish this thing under caution, or who wins this race?
Well, we're going to find out in about 3 minutes or less, I think, here, if it goes green. James McRae gets the jump. Brandon Lopez getting a nice boost, but here comes James Johnson on the top side, getting a push from Casey Gross. Which lane are our drivers going to pick? Who are they going to work with here tonight, Emmett? They've had 63 laps to figure out who they work well with.
Yeah, 63 laps, but you see right there, the 2 Chevys are going to go together, try to work together.
Lesko tried to make a move up top, had to double pump that one. Saw Johnson coming hard, didn't want to get up into him. He backed out, but Travis Everett now up to the top side.
Somebody was mad that they were. Oh, there they go.
Oh, we got cars off and around at the back end. Chris Toppings again wrapped up in something. Ira Kohlhaas. And we're going to have a green-white checker run here tonight, Evan.
Yep, we're going to have a green-white checker.
Chris Toppings, rough night here in Alabama for him. That Quack Pack car ain't going to be flying back with both of its wings intact tonight. But we should actually say congrats to him. He just got married last week, too, as well. I think that was the reason for the off week. So congrats to Chris Toppings. I saw that in chat, so congrats to him. Not the wedding gift he wanted here coming back tonight at Talladega.
Yeah, definitely not. After he ran so good here last year.
And unfortunately, he's going to be out of quick repairs, so it's going to be a long stop in pit row for our chief admin league owner, Chris Toppings. James McRae still up front, though. Brandon Lopez, the driver you keep mentioning as a weapon here, potentially race winner. He's been a weapon. He's been all around it tonight. I meant weapon is a good way. Just some people, might take it as wrong, but he's a good weapon.
He's a weapon in a good way.
Yeah, he's bringing a knife to a gunfight, where the other weapon is he brought a gun to a knife fight, where the other weapon is bringing a knife to a gunfight. So that's it for Brandon Lopez. That's the best analogy I can give you right there. But we got Joe Bonner in chat. Let's go LNG's Power Sports. Joe Bonner chatting from the track here under the yellow. So somebody checking for a cell phone in his car. Let's see. Where's he got that stashed on the dash?
Oh, man.
Thank you, Joe. Best of luck to you under this green-white checker. One of the only drivers still sitting in the position he qualified in right now in 12th place.
Yeah, and tough break. I was trying to get on the chat, but then I tuned in, and it's the supercar series on Racing Nexus. I was trying to tune into the chat. Oh, that's funny. There it is. I got it now.
We got Travis Everett sitting in 3rd place. Green-white checker here, Emmett. Who you putting your money on? If you were Mac, who's over in Vegas right now, we should have set up a line where he could have bet on this race, Racer Nexus racing betting. But if you were Mac now over in Vegas, who'd be putting your money on to win this race?
Good question. I'm going to go with a crapshoot. Let's go with John Oliverio.
John Oliverio from 9th place. The JC
never
Esports
know.
driver. We've seen him up at the front. We've seen him in and around some stuff too as well. That could be a good call. He's going to start on the inside for the restart. So we'll see. He's going to be relying on James McRae to get a good jump to move that inside line forward. You know what? It's hard to not go with this guy who's been dominant ever since he's come into the league. Even though he's got the pull-ups paint scheme on tonight, we'll look past that as he's not driving the NEXUS car. But
Yeah,
I'm going to put my money on Nate Lesko here this evening.
well, and that's oh man, Scott Matthews lost power and got disconnected.
Oh,
but,
man.
You know, I always want to go to Vegas and go eat at the Heart Attack Cafe because I know that I can eat there for free because I'm over 300 pounds. So I'm like, I get a free meal and I will eat every bit of it so I do not get spanked.
That's a hell of a goal there. I gotta say, I'm getting close to there too as well. I'm at about 245, so I got another 55 pounds to go before I can get the free meal there too as well.
It might be 200. I think if you're over 200, I think. Hold on a second. While we're under caution, I'm going to do some research.
We'll send you back down to the research office. Take the elevator this time. All right, we've sent Emmett downstairs. Lights are off in the pace car. Green-white checkered. I'll have to check and see. I think we only have one green-white checkered attempt, so this is going to be it. James McRae starting on the inside. Brandon Lopez to his outside. James Johnson a little further back. We saw him up at the front for the restart last time by. Is he going to have enough room to get himself up towards the front? He's got Nate Lesko immediately in front of him. A couple of quick drivers we've seen here tonight. Casey Gross, GT Irizarry, a couple other quick drivers up on the top side that will have to defend with. Travis Everett starting in third. Might be the best spot to restart from there. Keep an eye as they cycle down the backstretch. I'm
back. So, if you're over 350 pounds, you get to eat for free. So, sorry about your luck, Rob.
Man. Yeah, 350 is pushing it for me to gain it to go and get the free meal. I'll have to just sit at a table next to and enjoy the. Maybe I'll clear the plate off, whatever they have left afterwards.
Oh man, be like that show Extreme Cheapskates. Dude just went over there and was like, "Are you going to take that? No, can I have it?" What?
Yeah, you gonna leave that egg roll?
Oh yes, yes, I love it. No soup for you. Come back. 1 year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna. I'm eating all this, but you could chew on my napkin. It's got a little bit of sauce on it if you want. Field heading out of turn 4. All right, Emmett. Let's go. Let's get our drivers strapped in, buckles tight. A little bit of sip of water before they head to the green here. Pace car going to duck in, and the field will be under James McRae's control. See if he can pull out some strength with those Godzilla stuffy things that he's got on his paint scheme. Probably worth $1 bajillion.
I know, right?
Field getting stacked up. Green flags out, and away we go. McRae, not the greatest jump on the inside line. Lopez and Everett getting a run on the outside, Emmett.
Yeah, Lopez got the run. McLaughlin pushed him perfect, but look at this. They didn't start the race good, but now Everett all over the back of McRae, just pushing him away from the field, Rob.
They got Lesko and Johnson there too as well on the bottom, but Everett shoots up to the top. Is he going to get a push from Lopez? Is Lopez going to go high? Let's go up to the blimp here as they head into turn 3 and 4.
There's a lot of caffeine up on that high side, Rob.
Black rifle machine. Oh, Lesko getting squirrely. Drop down to the apron, back up. Johnson had to check, but Everett getting the push on the outside as they come down the front stretch. Lopez there. McRae not going to get the boost from Lesko. Lesko going to get turned by Johnson, and around he goes. But Travis Everett, Lopez out of nowhere takes the win at the line. Just gets the nose ahead of Travis Everett. Hats off to Brandon Lopez. Oh, no, we're on the last. No, that was the last. The checkered flag was a little slow coming out on that one for me. But heck of a race there for Brandon Lopez. Hats off to him, pipping Travis Everett by millimeters.
Travis Everett gets turned. Wait, hold on. There was no caution. We're running this back.
No caution on the last. We're going okay. Out of nowhere, Brandon Lopez is still gonna have to defend against James McRae.
Look at Joseph Bonner.
Joseph Bonner, the LNG Motorsports captain, out of nowhere trying to take the win, but James McRae on the last lap takes it away from Lopez. I thought for sure I saw a yellow come out there, but I must have been looking at something else. But heck of a win by James McRae. And I'm not sure what happened to the last lap there. Somebody got into Travis Everett and sent him into the wall.
I didn't hear the caution come from the British crew chief, so I was like, wait a minute, we're still green. Wow.
James McRae, the Jacksonville driver, comes home with the win. I thought for sure Emmett went under that restart where you get that slow start on the inside line where he wasn't going to be able to hold on to it, but outlasts Brandon Lopez to take top spot at the line. Hats off to James McRae here, taking week 7 of 20, the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Next Gen Series. See if he burns him down for the crowd.
Don't hit the wall. You know, James McRae is known for when we go to Iowa or these mile, or mile and a half, but that's a huge win for him winning on a super speedway.
Yeah, he avoided the big one, avoided the mini big one, outlasted, as they say in Survivor, he outlasted, outplayed, came home the winner. Hats off to James McRae. But let's take a look at our official results here, Emmett, and see how everybody finished up. You see James McRae taking top spot ahead of Brandon Lopez. Joe Bonner out of nowhere to take the final step on the podium. Hats off to him. We ended up doing 69 laps in total, so we went 4 laps into overtime. Casey Gross leads the most laps at 12. Fastest lap, Thomas McLaughlin at a 49.0. And we had 6 cautions for about 18 laps total. You know what? For a race at Talladega, Emmett, that's darn right above average, I think.
Yeah, but that's the thing with this next gen car. We don't see what we used to see with all the carnage. I mean, we saw some carnage, but it wasn't like we used to see. And because in these cars, the carbon fiber bodies are just indestructible. These things are built like tanks.
Yeah, they definitely are a little more, I don't want to say indestructible, a little more solid than cars of the past. But we got some drivers in the waiting room here to chat with us. Let's see, we got Brandon Lopez, James McRae, Joseph Bonner. Let's bring in our race winner, James McRae. Oops, hold on there, scroll too far. Let's bring in our race winner, James McRae, to catch up with Emmett Crow.
James McRae, man. I had to help Rob out because Rob thought he called Brandon Lopez the winner, and I said, hold up, we're still racing. But what a move you made to get that little slingshot engaged, Ricky Bobby style. What better way to do it than at Talladega?
Yeah, I mean to tell you, that was something else. I don't even know how that worked. Yeah, he didn't leave me any gap for me to get the momentum on him. So I didn't know how I was going to get around him, but somehow managed to pull out, and I guess I caught just enough air on him to pull him back. I don't know.
So now I got to ask you, because Gary Braylon won this race a year ago, went on to win the championship. How do you feel about your chances on winning the title now?
I mean, that's the goal, right? Just keep to get the championship. Man, I'm just going to keep taking it one race at a time. I know we got a lot of good people in here, so like tonight might not have been the best luck for some of them there at the end, and yeah, we'll just have to see how the rest of the season plays out before I think about championships.
Well, your woman or somebody needs to buy you one of them Godzilla stuffy things, as Rob called them. But because congrats on the win, man. Is there anyone you'd like to thank out there?
Yeah, of course. You're talking about my woman. I want to thank her, Jen out there watching, and my other woman, my mom out there watching. You guys are broadcasting every week, doing such a good job. Chris and admin team Tobacco Road putting this all on, and we got JG Power washing, I believe. Elsie, gosh, the letters, I'm getting them all tangled up.
LNG.
Out here, what was that? LNG?
LNG.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I'm JC Esports, so it's like all the letters, winning. I'm all jumbled up, guys.
You're good. You're good. Well, congratulations. Go celebrate. I'm serious. Either your mom or your woman needs to buy you one of those Godzilla deals, because Rob said they're probably worth a lot of money.
I'm waiting on them to come out. These, yeah.
Oh, they haven't came out yet, Rob.
There you go, Emmett. You better go get yourself in line now. Stand in, waiting in line.
Be a next little boo-boo.
All right, we'll see you next week, man, at North Wilkesboro. Congrats on the win. Rob?
Thank you, guys.
That was our race winner, James McRae. Although I incorrectly called him second place, erroneously, as we thought it was a yellow flag. Let's bring in the driver who I thought had taken the win. Thought I saw the yellow come out on that lap, Brandon, but unfortunately we had one more time around and James McRae was able to get back ahead of you. But all in all, hell of a race for you at Talladega. You avoided the big one, the mini big one, and everything in between. How do you think your race went from your seat?
Pretty good. My teammates Thomas and John, we had a strategy coming into the race, and we wanted to be in the back just to observe things and save fuel, and trying to gain some points out of it. So it was a good call on their part, but just trying to see how things played out, trying to survive, and trying to make it through at least at the end and get in position to win, and then race it out throughout the last couple laps. I thought I had it in the end there. I was telling James in the waiting room I thought I had it, and I was trying to troll break him coming out of 3. So he wouldn't have a chance to have a gap and have a run, and then he just made an awesome move coming in the tri-oval, and at that point there was nothing I could have done. So, but hey, I take second place. Usually in super speedways I have the worst luck of getting into a wreck and have to work my way up. So it's the best possible outcome other than the win that I can ask for.
Well, speaking of wrecks, Emmett and I we're quite sure how you didn't get caught up by Chris Perry when he got turned there. He must have been just millimeters from your rear bumper. Did you think for sure he was going to come back up and catch you and that'd be the end of your race at that point?
I saw someone turn on the tri-oval, and then I saw it coming up, and I was like, I am not braking. I'm just gasping it. And then Thomas, my teammate, he was pushing me, and he got into it, and that's very unfortunate. And then he told me why he was in the pits, because he didn't have another fast repair. He was like, dude, you were literally inches away from getting wrecked. And I was like, oh, thank the Lord, man. Holy. So
yeah,
what? I didn't know how. I knew it was close. But when I saw him coming back, I was like, gas it, and I made it through. So.
Well, Brandon, I gotta tell you, man, that win's coming. I know you're hungry, and that's what I told Rob. That win's coming, bud.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit challenging because these drivers are really talented, and especially James and the other drivers are winning every single week. So, but I'm doing my best. It's just I gotta do better at strategy and outperforming them. But they do a hell of a job every single week. So.
And we head to North Wilkesboro next week, a drastically different track than here tonight at Talladega. How comfortable are you on the short tracks like North Wilkesboro, Brandon?
Typically, I don't feel confident with North Wilkesboro, and then I do have a decent result that passed my expectations. I'll finish 7th or 8th for the most part, and I'll definitely take it. So I know I would need some practice and some time to drive and talk to some of my teammates about it. But for the most part, I'm just probably gonna be in the middle of the pack maybe, or just take what I can get. So, but overall, I know it's a tough track. It's a tough place to pass, and it's a physical track, so it should be quite interesting, quite a challenge next week.
Yeah, do a few arm curls this week before that race to build up the the left turn strength. But before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out at home watching the?
Yeah, I just want to thank God for the opportunity to race every single week with the drivers and my teammates. I want to thank my friends and family for tuning in and watching every single week. I want to thank my teammates, Thomas and John Smith, for Nap Daddy Racing, trying to set the tone throughout the season. And my friends, the boys, I have to shout them out because they're watching. So what's up, boys? And yeah, just everyone, the fans are watching, and the drivers for racing every single week has been fun.
Excellent stuff, Brandon. Well, best of luck next week at North Wilkesboro, and maybe we'll be talking to you again.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good one.
Take care. That was our second place finisher, Brandon Lopez. Let's bring in our third place finisher, Joseph Bonner, who came out of nowhere to take the final step on the podium. He's caught up with Emmett Crow.
Joseph Bonner, man, dude, talk about a crazy race. So you go from hitting the inside wall, and there's no caution. Well, no, there was a caution. Was there a caution? There wasn't a caution, was there?
Nope.
And then you go a lap down, get back on the lead lap. As we see, LNG Power Washing. Power Sports is the race team. Power Washing is your business. Tell us a little bit about LNG Power Washing.
Well, I just started it about a year and a half ago. Trying to do something a little bit on the side, trying to make something that maybe that my kids can eventually have once they get a little older, because that's what the L's for my son Liam and the G's for my daughter Gabby. So just trying to maybe set them up for something potentially in the future, so they ain't got to break their back every day like I do. So, well, yeah, we're out of Millersburg. We're just slowly building. Obviously, in the cold weather, you can't really do too much. So right now, it's slow.
All right, well, come down south because it was almost 50. It was 50 degrees today. But anyways, talk about this third place finish, man. I mean, you've been running good in these races, but gotten caught up in some late race wrecks and come home with the third place finish. How you feeling about that?
Very surprised, honestly. The whole beginning of the race up until I got spun, I felt really good. I was up in the front. Just so happened that one of my teammates, James Johnson, gave me a little bit of a bad push that sent me flying into the inside wall. But you know, my team, I have a great group of guys that we race with every night that we come out here. Blake, he is a great driver. He teaches the whole entire team on things. James knows a lot. We just brought Patrick in tonight. That's going to be racing with us. Then we have Bruce. So we have a lot of fast guys that know what they're doing. It's just some of us get stuck in the unlucky crap and get taken out, and some of us don't. So, but no, I'm happy to be up in the third place, honestly, because I thought my race was over. But the wrecking around me, I could just feel I was in like a little bit of a force field bubble, because there was wrecks everywhere, and I thought I was gonna die. But us top three made it through all the chaos. So,
oh man. Well, how do you feel about your chances as we go to North Wilkesboro next week?
I'm gonna be leaning heavy on my teammate Blake and James and Patrick to help me get through that track, because it's gonna be a little tough, I think. I don't think I've ever raced there yet, so it's going to be a first for me. So if I can finish, I'll be happy.
All right. Well, congrats on the third place finish. Before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank out there?
Just my whole entire team at LNG Power Sports. We're building something awesome. I mean, we're in a few different leagues that we just keep growing, and we have pretty much guys racing almost every night now in different leagues. So I'm proud to be a part of this and watch it keep growing. And a shout out to my son Liam, that takes care of himself when I'm starting to race and can put himself to bed, and he's at that age now. So big shout out to him for letting me do this and making it easier for me to race. So
all right, well, we'll see you next week at North Wilkesboro.
Yep, thank you guys.
No problem. Rob?
Well, that was our third place finisher, Joe Bonner. See how he does in his LNG teammates, who have been, a team to contend with here this season, Emmett, in Tobacco Road Sim Racing. But You know what? That's pretty much going to do it for us here. Again, we head to North Wilkesboro next week. If you're interested in catching that race, it's going to be same time, same place. 8 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday nights. If you're interested in joining the league, they are still accepting. I think they have a few more spots left. You can find the Discord link for the league in the description of the video below. But before we go, let's give a shout out here to our camera coverage from trackcams22.com, track cams for gourmets. You find them there if you like the access to realistic NASCAR cams you'll catch on Fox and NBC broadcasts, IndyCar, Formula One, IMSA, depending which track you're at. He tries to mimic all those camera action or camera angles. So that's trackcams22.com. And then Apex Sim Racing, find yourself 5% discount code in the description. Get yourself 5% off anything they sell in store, from their own brand of products, Apex Sim Racing accessories, to brands like SimiCube, SimMagic, Moza, and the like. They even sell PC systems, so you can get out here and feel like you're Jeff Gordon, James Johnson, or any of the other drivers on track. Or you can feel like you're Emmett Crow as well.
Yeah, you know, Emmett Crow's gotten better at the OI race, and not quite where I want to be, but we have gotten better.
We'll have to throw him behind the wheel one of these times. But for week 7 at Talladega in the Tobacco Road Sim Racing League, this has been Racers Nexus. I'm Rob Campbell. In the booth with me tonight has been Emmett Crow, not Mac Nelson, Emmett Crow. But we'll catch you next week, same time, same place. Until then, bye for now.
Broadcasting voice, but I think it was because they got off they were on the apron. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
it's
talking
possible.
to the admin.